What is up, my bodyweight warriors, and welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be going over a pretty cool and also very effective technique when it comes to improving the hypertrophy, the muscle mass growing response when it comes to some of your bodyweight training. It's a great way of getting more work done in a shorter period of time if you don't necessarily have hours to dedicate to training. Let's jump straight into it. Also, just to mention, this mustache thing is not usually here. It is concerningly ginger, but it is for the very worthy cause of November. So if you want to support other men getting stronger with their mental health and a host of other factors, then you can donate in the description down below. Essentially, what we're going to be doing today is taking the concept of the beloved drop set in bodybuilding and weighted training, and we're going to be applying it in an equally effective way in bodyweight training. You're also doing more volume, which is also going to have that added benefit when it comes to muscle mass, and the time is a little bit reduced. So if you are short on it, it's just a great option. We've all seen it before. You can go to the gym, you start doing some bicep curls, and then you kind of just work your way down the dumbbells. But this is often harder to do with bodyweight training simply because we don't necessarily have a set load. We can't just pick up a lighter body, strap it on, and then do the exercise again to do a drop set. We have to be a little bit clever with how we manipulate our intensity of training. And this is done not by weight in bodyweight training, but with levers. So a very simple example, just to illustrate this point briefly before we move on, would be something like the pseudo planche push-up. We can do a push-up, just a normal one, shoulders are placed over the hands. This is pretty easy, most people can do it. We can then start to move forward, increase the lean on the shoulders, increase the distance they are over the hands. We can do some more, it's gonna get harder. We can lean further forward again, and it's gonna get harder. And we can keep on repeating this until we literally get to a point where we cannot do a push-up. We reach that kind of 1 rep max sort of zone with just a simple bodyweight push-up. And this is the concept that we're gonna be using today to achieve a mechanical advantage drop set in bodyweight training and get all of those nice benefits that we get from traditional drop sets. So today I want to share with you 2 different routines or exercises. One is going to be for the back and biceps, one is going to be for the chest and triceps. Both are going to have that hypertrophy, that muscle building response. Hopefully you enjoy it and find it useful. If you do, let me know in the comments down below. So first of all, let's start off with the drop set for the chest and the triceps. This drop set is going to be made up of 3 different exercises, the first of which is the pseudo planche push-up, which we've already used as an example. You're going to need an intensity that's going to be hard for 6 to 8 repetitions at a tempo of 2-0-1-0. So that's 2 seconds down, 1 second up. Not a quick tempo, not a slow tempo, just a decent one for getting reps in. You can do this by adjusting basically the relationship between how far forward your shoulders are of your hands. Fitness FAQs has a good example in which he measures the distance between his hands and a wall and then tries to keep his head on the wall. I'll link to the video where he describes that one. That's one option. Or you can put an object down as a target to touch your chest, and again, simply measure the distance between this object and your hands to find out how hard it is. Once we have that intensity that we know is going to be hard for 6 to 8 reps, we're going to perform that one through, and the final rep should be roughly near enough failure. It's going to move to the next exercise, which is a deep push-up. So for this one, I'm going to use some parallettes to elevate my hands by about 5 centimeters, which, by the way, are brand new, handmade in the UK, and are being sold on my shop as of this weekend, so you can get them in the description down below. The main reason for the deep push-ups is, number one, they have more range of motion, which means more gains in terms of hypertrophy. They're also slightly harder than normal push-ups, which is almost a little bit too easy for the drop when it comes to the drop set element. So we're going to do deep push-ups, again, at the same tempo, 2-0-1-0 tempo, and we're going to do pretty much as many as we can, but we'd expect that to be around 4 to at most 6 repetitions. If you can do more than 6 reps, then you can add a band around your back or something. Once we hit failure for the second time in that 4 to 6 reps for the second exercise, we're going to move to the final exercise, and that is a close grip or a diamond push-up. This is going to take more focus onto the triceps and less focus on the chest and the delts, which should be more fatigued at this point, so we can get that final push to fatigue down the triceps and to round up this nice drop set. Again, we're going to want to perform maybe an additional 4 to 6 repetitions, and we should be going for that same tempo, 2-0-1-0 tempo. If this is too easy, we can use the band around the back again to make it hard for those 4 to 6 reps. You should be hitting absolute failure at the end of this one. Or if it's a little bit too hard for you and you can only get 1 or 2, then you can elevate the hands on an object or something to make it slightly easier. And that's it. That is the drop set or an extended set. That is the mechanical advantage drop set for the chest and triceps. It is pretty tough if you make it tough for each exercise, which you should be doing. So again, 6 to 8 reps, 4 to 6, 4 to 6. That gives us a total of about, quick maths, 16 to 20 rep set for that final drop set. So next we move on to the back and biceps drop set, which is essentially going to be focused around the bodyweight row. Now for this one, it's also going to be made up of 3 different exercises in the same fashion. The first one you do for 6 to 8, the next 2 you do as drop sets for 4 to 6 repetitions-ish, and the tempo is also going to be the same. So 1 second pull up, 2 seconds lower down, simply so I don't have to say out each progression. So the first exercise in this grouping is going to be the Bulgarian ring row. So this one is essentially similar to a wide bodyweight row, which would be a good replacement as well. It's just going to be a little bit harder, and it's also going to focus a little bit more on that mid-back. We're going to try and fatigue that first before we move on to the next sets. Just like the pseudo planche push-ups, we need to make this hard. We can move the body angle closer to that horizontal position. You just need to find whatever is going to be hard for those 6 to 8 reps for your particular strength. Once we have that progression, we're going to perform those Bulgarian ring rows so we finish almost at failure on that last rep. From here, we're not going to change anything but the grip position. So we're going to move from that wide Bulgarian ring row to a neutral grip close row. This is where we just keep the rings in a more natural moving position, and we're just going to focus on pulling the hands to the sides and trying to drive those elbows back. Again, we want to be able to get another 4 to 6 reps here at that same tempo. If it is a little bit too hard, you're struggling to get 1 or 2 reps, then you just need to move a little bit more vertical. Which kind of brings me on to the final progression, and that is after we've reached failure the second time, what we're going to do is we're just going to take a step or 2 backwards. So we go from more of a horizontal position to maybe a 45 degrees diagonal position, and we're going to perform again a row position. But what we're going to do is, as we get to the top of the row, we're just going to try and twist the hands into a slightly supinated position. So this is when the palms are going to be facing towards you, and this is going to give a little bit more of bicep activation in the movement. The same good rowing mechanics should apply, and again you just need to vary the intensity of this, and that is basically it. Push that one to failure again. We've done that 16 to 20 reps total set, and we should be pretty pumped, pretty fatigued at this point with that back and biceps drop set. So those are the 2 examples, quite nice, quite simple. They can kind of be applied at any level. You just need to adjust the intensity of each one so they're good for you. So it is going to be hard. In terms of how you apply this to your training, it's not something that I'd recommend for 3 or 4 sets twice a week. You're just going to build up a huge amount of muscle fatigue, and it's probably not going to lead to the best gains. It's something that you might add in for the final 1 or 2 sets of your workout, for example. It's sort of the icing, the cherry on top of the cake that's going to help accumulate that final bit of muscle fatigue. If you are going to give this a go, please let me know in the comments down below. As I already said, I'd be really interested to hear your feedback on this one. I think it's an awesome exercise, and it does have some pretty awesome results to go alongside with it. If you just enjoyed this video, you can hit that thumbs up button and help to support the channel. I would highly appreciate it. Also, while you're down there, there's the subscribe button right next to it if you want to join the Bodyweight Warrior tribe. But that's basically it for this week, guys. I'll catch you in the next episode. Have a strong week, and peace.